Are the books for sale or for the...
Free.
Okay,
Free.
all right.
Or do you want some for your...
Well, yeah, we could put them right here for that, and then
Yeah.
people, and since you're going to be here, you'll be able to sign them.
Okay.
Toot sweet.
Okay.
Oh, you have different ones. Okay,
Okay.
good job. Thank you.
Thank you for coming so much. Really, I'm having a good time with you already. And I want to thank Christine for typing these up for me. Tegan for bringing me here. And
Thank you,
Rita-
Christine.
And Rita, who's the host of the Cultural Integration Fellowship. And wonderful people like David and Leela and Wendy are always so loyal. And Maya, my new friend. This is really a big, Greg Pond. I could spend my whole time thanking people. To Sacred Grounds, you are listening. Warm jacuzzi water, healing and gently holding me. I wish I could press a button stop, and my time with you would become a wide ocean. You're listening. Warm jacuzzi water, healing and gently holding me. At Sacred Grounds.
You prefer them not to applaud, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it gives me more time to read. Yeah.
So I should have said that earlier. I know that, I forgot.
At Sacred Grounds, so ticking in my mind for so long. I'm feeling like a dolphin spiraling up in the air, twirling. You are my friend on a cruise ship watching. We're all enjoying sunshine and splashing. Wish could make small and young and be in dance class and have a learning magical, but I can't, so I'm glad to be old and big and able to come to Sacred Grounds where Dan cares and amazes us with his magic.
Thank you.
I know today is Tuesday because of the clanking of the garbage trucks when I'm in bed. As long as I hear garbage trucks, I'll know it's Tuesday. I like being 78, standing on a huge plateau, overlooking the trail that got me here, starting in an old farmhouse far away, then to the Midwest and sandy Indian dunes, back to the homeland for a while, then onward to Pacific. I'm on a plateau of 78. No exams to study for, no senior prom to try and lose weight for, no term paper to finish, no decisions which college and should I marry him or not. I'm 78, and I can look back in the large rear-view mirror of my life and savor delicious memories. Can toss what did not fit at times and enjoy the juicy now of the moment of being here, surrounded by Sacred Grounder community and loved ones. A rite of passage. I'm reminded of the gathering in Africa when a woman was given birth. I'm moving from youth to so-called maturity, and I'm cozied by having you all here. But I must confess, as my niece Leah says, I'm a perpetual teenager. To me, I'm a perpetual 6-year-old with wide eyes and sparkling pigtails. Living on the seesaw of fate. The grimmer the news becomes, the more sweet your kindness is. The more losses I endure, the sounder your presence feels. Living on a seesaw of fate, the up balances the down, but the down bumps on the hard concrete surface of the playground. Buckets. Buckets. When I was 6, I had a tin bucket that was colorful and rusty. It held sand but not water. Yet Bucket and I went to the beach daily to enjoy the sun, water, and sand. Now I'm old. I have a make-believe bucket, a bucket list of all I want to do before I die. Before I kicked the bucket, as when I was 6 and had a bucket. This bucket has holes, so sometimes what I put in it leaks out. I cannot control what stays and what leaks out, because often sand leaks out with water. So there's never been a bucket in my life that holds all I want to hold. On being very present and focused. Good talks. Like playing badminton on a slightly warm summer afternoon. You'd hit wide the plastic birdie, ping. Then I'd return it, ping, and so, back and forth, looking to the air. Satisfaction when connecting with our ideas and thoughts. I miss the back and forth of our ideas and thoughts on a slightly warm summer afternoon in the country. Dockside. My boat is in a harbor these days. It's rocking gently and not traveling anyplace. It feels good just to be in a harbor with the charts folded and the compass ignored. There aren't any train whistles haunting me in the night. I'm not concerning myself about the morning when the distant winds will call me and faraway sands will beckon. Questions of future plans, buzzing flies I brush aside. I'm not looking around the bend. There are no winds pushing me to move. It's enough for now to be very much nestled here in this harbor with my sails folded and my engine off. Soft waves lapping against my sides, so very soothing. My boat is in a harbor these days. It's rocking gently and not traveling any place. Mending my insides. This poem was the darkest thing yesterday. I was fiddling around with the computer and it just popped up out of I don't know where. I even forgot I wrote it, but it was like, hey, take me along tomorrow night. So there it is. Poems, they're like children. They have a life of their own. Mending my insides. I'm mending my insides. Fishermen's nets spread out in the sun. The breeze gently ruffles them. They're not working now, just resting and drying out. The fishermen sew up the broken parts. The healing sun warms. And so my insides are resting. Meditation and white light dry out the pain. My Tagamet pills, stitching together the parts. I see you there, round-faced moon, peeking in my window as I sleep. Your face so perky and round, but you choose not the sun warmth. Just look at me with your very round face. I'm cold and could use warmth. A yellow blanket of your rays would feel so nice, but you just choose to stare with your perfect face. We are two brass andirons. We are two brass andirons standing together, holding logs from the ashes. We stand together, whether the flames are hot or dormant. There's a timeless quality to our standing upright, polished. We're always side by side, even though not attached. Two andirons, keeping the logs from the ashes. Non-involvement. She goes to the zoo, looks at the animals, but does not feed them. She goes to the art museum, sees the statues, but doesn't feel them. She went to the beach, but never allowed the salt to sting her. She shook his hand, but never held it. Husband, you're my other bookend. Not fastened, but mated. We hold between us dirty books, books of rhyme, and letters unanswered that probably never will be answered. Sometimes our books fall, and sometimes they stand tall. Husband, I'm talking to you way over there. Beautiful round full moon hiding behind the shade of cloud, so that all that peeks out has a sliver of gold. How I wish you could raise that shade that hides you. Oh, there's going to be another full moon, super moon, the 31st of January. I'm going to go out with my pen and paper out to Ocean Beach because the beach will be really big. Hope to see you all there, fellow poets.
Yeah, it's a blue moon, the second moon of the month, and it's a super moon and a blue moon, and it's the 31st, so it's really special.
Yeah. See you all there. Cows are smart enough to sit in the shade. Some only partially sit in the shade. I need to learn to sit in the shade more. Cool clubs, cool places, out of critical sun. The shade soothes me. Cooling, refreshing people, whereas sticky, starched people burn me and make my soul sting. I wrote that poem. I was driving along in the car. The poem kind of came to me. I was looking at the cows sitting in the shade. I said, cows are smart enough to sit in the shade. Quiet, so healing, like bubbling water. It takes the kinks away and purifies them over the rocks. They drop out of the stream, forming sand, and that too becomes lovely. Quiet flows in its own colorless rhythm. Bathing in quiet, soaking in its rays, massages my being and strokes. The moon. The moon weaves the spider's web from grass to grass. The moon lavishes velvet over the valley. The moon on the ocean rolls like oil and water. One can say a word and it is gone, but a word omiss can cling and haunt the area, like the moon. I never knew my grandmother, but my mother showed me her home and her lace, and even the lace my aunt inherited, as though the lace was my grandmother's footprints and fossils of her being. I do not own any lace. My poems are my fossils, to hopefully be looked at in future generations. This morning I received an email from a friend who said he had stress in his life. Stress, the current fashion. I'm thinking of women who wore corsets and bones in their bras. That was the fashion. I remember having to sleep face down on a pillow because of metal hair rollers in my hair because curly hair was the fashion. So today, stress and uncertainty are the fashion. Senior circus. There is a senior circus, and I'm sure you know what I mean. Those seniors who dazzle us with amazing acts like going to Rome off the surgery table, and of running marathons in their 70s, and working with sharp minds into their 80s. Well, there is a senior circus, and I'm sure you know what I mean, but I am an old lazy senior southern dog swatting flies in the shade. I cannot dazzle you with any amazing circus acts, just smiles. Mummy. Mummy, I am you when you were me now. When I was young and you were old. Now I'm old like you used to be. I am you like you were when you were me now. Downsizing. How many here have gone through downsizing or having to go through downsizing? Oh, okay. A poem or a song should be written about downsizing. When I was a teenager, the buzzword was junior prom. Then it was talk about getting married and then having babies. And now I'm in my 70s and I have many friends there too. What do we talk about? Downsizing. Downsizing has created a new look for my apartment. Parts of it look new, like a minimalist would have. Giving away treasures to younger family or friends ensures they have a longer life, like at Easter time. Now with me hunting for places to put treasures. Downsizing has its own beat. First music of act is slow. Then it gets going and picks up speed. Downsizing. A song or a poem should be written about downsizing. We're two windshield wipers going opposite ways. When the sun is out, we're both down the same. Then when the winds howl and the storm clouds gather, we go at each other and get all out of alignment. Also, there are times you reach one direction and me the other. We're two windshield wipers going opposite directions. I'm I'm a word painter. I carve sentences out of soapstone and rub my hand over them until they're smooth. I'm a balloon woman. Many colorful balloons follow me. I can choose which idea, which plan, or which person to see it with. Easily I can let one balloon float away, and I can let the air out. I would like to be a squirrel, easily running up and down tree trunks. I'm a gold panner, finding gold nuggets of poetry in people who thought there wasn't any. Through the window, dawn is smiling in on my dog, while light from the full moon mixes and bathes her in soft silverness. My dog is silent as the early morning air. It's nice to vacate, to cut the line that holds you to the shore, to do nothing. Oh, how nice to do nothing, to waste time, to splash minutes around lavishly, to do nothing. So refreshing. Love is a fan that can open quickly or slowly, then it flutters or sways and will break or be treasured. The fog all night long turns somersaults in the bay. When the dim day breaks, it suddenly suggests there are boats in the harbor. How am I doing on time, Dan?
You're at 3 minutes left.
Oh, we live as pieces of a puzzle, fitted together tentatively to be jumbled up any time by anyone. Then we lay scattered, separated, and turned around. We're disjointed, turned upside down and around. Tomorrow, maybe some hand will settle us again. I wanted before the timer clicks, invite you all. February 3rd, I'll be at La Promenade. Thanks to Bill Mercer and Stephanie, or the host.
It's a great reading place. A lot of people here know that.
Yeah, I have a flyers here
I'll
about it.
pass it around.
And then on July 22nd and November 18th, we'll be meeting at the Cultural Integration Fellowship for Poetry Festival. Thanks to Rita.
Thank you.
And then September 16th, I'm going to give a talk at the Cultural Integration Fellowship called "Everyone is a Poet and the Healing Power of Poetry," in which I talk about my adventures doing poetry. I've done it with all kinds of people, and I'd love to share my experiences with you. So here's some flyers.
Yeah, pass
good.
a few that way and give me a few.
Oh, okay.
That'll go around the room both ways.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah. I'm experienced.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Take one.
So, thank you all so much for coming and listening, and your ears have just been wonderful.
So you're going to give us one more?
Oh, sure.
Close it out there, girl.
I'll give you a million more if you want. There is a place where time is stopped, where the gulls glide with the wind, and myriad ripples of the water flicker like a flock of birds. A poet lived here and then died, leaving his inspiration. The tide comes in and out, leaving its treasures. We too came here for a while and left, leaving behind golden minutes. And I also want to say I have an email list for anyone who's not on it. Leela, you can add your name to that. And if you don't have email, put your snail mail address, okay? And you'll hear about what's going on.
If you've never been to the Cultural Integration Fellowship, if you've never been there, it's a great place to go.
Thank you.
There's a lot of events there all the time, and Rita knows about it. She knows about it. So
Rita's the director. You want
She
to
is
say
the
that,
director.
Rita?
yeah, just give her a little round of applause. A round of applause for Sally. Well, come up and just say something for a moment. Yeah, just say hello.
Hello, everyone, and happy birthday, Sally.
thank you. Happy birthday.
We're going to sing happy birthday in just a minute. Oh, to you. Happy birthday to you. Louder. What? Happy birthday to you.
There's going to be some cake
Did you want to say something,
sure.
Greg? She's going to give you a little bit of information about the center that
Yes.
Kelly was referencing.
Yes, we have a center. Yes, it's an ashram. It was one of the first ashrams established here in the city in 1956. We've been at the location at 2650 Fulton Street. It's on the corner of 3rd Avenue, and we have programs on Sunday mornings. I invite all of you to come at 11 o'clock. And Sally hosts poetry festivals. Yes, open mic poetry festivals. There are 2 scheduled for this year. I think July and November. It's on the flyer. And Sally has been very generous to offer these poetry festivals at our center, and we really appreciate it very much. And I invite all of you to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nathan's there.
Yeah, why don't you go for it? Ask him. So, just to let you know, after the break, we have Britt Peter kicking it off. He also is the closer. He's the super duper clincher closer, super duper closer. We got Melissa, Wendy, Alan Harris, Sharon, Tommy, our mini feature, Garrett, Murphy, Greg Pond, Britt Peter closing us out, and Bob also. So we have some nice poetry coming up, and if you haven't signed in, now's the time to go, I can put my name. So take care of that. And this thing will be off, so your conversations will be yours.
And help yourself to birthday cake back there, everybody.
Yeah,